Where we at? Here we go. Let me see if that helps. Haha. Okay, cool. All right. So the other day I was using ChatGPT, like most people use ChatGPT for, is to help me find the best pizza near me that I don't know about. And so I went into ChatGPT looking for a pizza review, and it helped me out like greatly. And so we were able to go when we found a pizza shop that I never knew about. It was not far from my house. And it was everything that we wanted it to be. And I was like, this is so stinking cool. And then I saw someone actually in St. Louis posting a review of a pizza place, and he had in his hand something like a pizza. It was like a pizza passport. And I was like, oh, I was like, and I couldn't figure out like who made it or where it came from. And I'm sitting here thinking, this could be an interesting way to to do things. So what I've discovered in coaching with agents and being an agent and working on constantly staying in connection and relationship with my sphere, bringing them value and also having it be fun. One of the number one challenges most agents have in making their connections every single day is they don't know what to say. They don't know what to offer. There's just that resistance of like, I just talked to them like literally 2 months ago. Why would I call now? We haven't talked for 3 years. And now all of a sudden, just because Audra or Dana are telling me it's time to connect, I got to connect. And I'm like, why? I now have given you at least 3 to 4 different reasons for the year to be able to do so. And I'm going to share with you what I discovered, how I did this, and kind of how I kind of put it together. And then you're going to want to watch this recording. I'm going to share the actual transcript of my prompts so you can literally copy and paste for yourself. But it was super, super simple on how I was able to use ChatGPT to do the thing. So can you all see my screen here right now where it's just my ChatGPT prompts? If you're on mobile, it's going to be tough for you because it's small. So definitely want to watch a recording. Everyone can see?
We
Awesome.
can see.
Cool. So my first prompt was just simply, hey, can you look through Yelp, Reddit, and any additional online food reviews to help me find the best pizza near my zip code? That's the prompt. And ChatGPT says, perfect. Here's a curated roundup, top picks. And it had this one and had the reviews and then a link to where all the reviews came from. Next, next, next. And then said some additional local favorites. I know of these, like that, they're fine. And then it created a quick comparison table, like really cool stuff. I didn't even ask it, just did all this stuff. And then it said, here, final recommendations. If you're going to try one first, try this one, then this one, and then this one. And then added some additional quotes and said, let me know what you like, cross-topping styles that you're looking. I can help you narrow. And I just said, no, nothing. That list was perfect. And it said, great, glad I hit the spot. If you end up trying it, shoot me a picture. Tell me what you think. ChatGPT is like my new best friend. In fact, my wife's like, you talk a little bit too much with ChatGPT. Talk to me more. I said, relax. If you're as helpful as ChatGPT, I would. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Sort of. So I go to ChatGPT and I threw in the picture saying, we went to Tassio's, had a slice of the red Tassio. It was good. Family got a whole cheese. Crust was perfect. Sauce was a bit too much seasoning in it. And the cheese wasn't the same as the New Jersey Manco style, but we enjoyed it. And they're like, yep, that looks fire. Crispy bottom, pillowy crust. And it said, hey, pro tip, next time you go, ask for a plain slice and light on the sauce with extra cheese. It'll bring the cheese sauce balance closer to the East Coast boardwalk style you're looking for. And I'm like, how do you even know that, ChatGPT? And so we continued on there. And then it said, do you want me to do a better list with stuff like this? And I said, yeah, drop it. You're the best. And so it did. It created this list here. Honorable mentions, quick comparison, final recommendations. And then I said, okay, hang tight. I just saw a post from a fellow real estate agent. So I want you to pay attention how I'm prompting ChatGPT. I'm literally talking to it like an advisor. I think sometimes we overthink it. And what I do is I just turn on the microphone and I dictate this. I didn't type this. I just speak. So you'll notice that there's like no punctuation here. ChatGPT doesn't care. It understands me. So I said, hey, I just saw a post from a fellow real estate agent. They made a fun pizza passport, which was a cool booklet to take to their favorite spots, write notes of their tasting. I'd love to create something like that, including the logos from each restaurant, and give it out to clients for a fun scavenger hunt style contest. And chat said, that's an epic idea. It's creative, builds real connection with your clients. Here's what we can do. We can format it into a booklet. It could be printed or digital. We'll include a cover design, a welcome with instructions, individual pages, which will have the logo, the address, a QR code or a short link to their menu, and a place to take notes, favorite slice with a 5-star rating, scavenger hunt checklist, and an entry page. And then some suggested title ideas, client giveaway ideas, and next steps. It says, do you want me to make a mock-up or a sample page layout? Would you like all 5 to 7 included or 10 to 12? I can start gathering logos and links. Do you want your real estate branding or logos subtly worked in? And I'm like, let's go. Let's do 10 to 12. Let's get some logos and links. So it's already going online, pulling all this stuff together. And then it says, cool. Here's the top 10 to 12. And so it puts it all together like that, bonus picks to round it out, and then sample page layout of what it would look like. And I'm like, all right, I like this. Let's keep going. And then so go ahead, start building, loving the vibe of the collab. And then it started doing it. And here's a preview of the KC Pizza Passport PDF. All of those things. Boom, 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 boom. And then, it said, all right, next steps. I can design the printable PDF. I can create a digital version that's fillable or mobile friendly. I can generate a matching QR code, poster, or a card, or I can write an email. What do you want to tackle first? And I said, yes, let's do 1 and 2. Can you make me a cover of really iconic KC landmarks like the Western Auto Building and the downtown skyline? And it said, I got you, fam. And here's the Kansas City Pizza Passport with exactly what I asked for. Visit all participating pizzerias, prize and entry details inside. And I said, do you want to do the interior? I said, I freaking love it because I talked to ChatGPT like my bestie and it delivers, right? And so it says, yes, that's the vibe we're going for. KC Pride meets Pizza Adventure. Boom. Here's the PDF. Now, when I did the PDF, I clicked it and that's expired. I downloaded it. Didn't format really well. So I didn't like it. So I said, what's the easiest way to create the digital version, Google Form or web app? And so then it gave me a description of the pros and cons between Google Form and web app. And the Google Form's the easiest because it's the most readily available to do. The web app is the coolest experience, but you need to have some additional software to be able to throw it off. So I said, well, let's just do the Google Form style. And it said, perfect. Let's build the Google Form. And what it said was do this, 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 and this. Final section, confirmation message. And then it said, send me let me know. And I said, what do you need me to provide to share? And it says, great, give me access to create the Google Form. Here's what to do. I did it. And then I got an error. And so I told ChatGPT, I said, hang tight. It said, I can't add that email because you don't have an email or Google account, Gmail or ChatGPT. And they're like, oh yeah, good catch. You're totally right. Ha ha. So ChatGPT sometimes makes some stuff up. So I said, okay, I don't have the ability to external Google accounts directly. Here's the best and super easy option. So there was a way to create a copy and paste Google form. So when you go into Google Forms, you can create a Google form and it literally gave me every section to copy and paste. So form questions, each one, section 1, section 2, short answer. How many pizza places did you visit? And there's a drop-down menu. And then inside, upload your passport proof, selfies, stamp notes, etc., tasting tracker, et cetera, et cetera. Final selection. How do you want to be notified if you win? Text me, email, I'll be watching, et cetera. And then confirmation message. And then I was like, okay. I said, this is super cool. I'm going to stop share for a second because I just want to talk through this for a minute. Here's just one example of a way to become and create yourself as a local expert Number two, it's another way for you. Think about this. You can now go into these businesses with this passport and say, hey, I'd like to help promote this. Is there anything you'd be able to offer as a prize or a giveaway for anybody doing this? Or if somebody comes in with this passport, do you have any coupons or anything that you would offer anybody to continue to up the value adds for these individuals, right? And I guarantee you, these pizza places, you go into them, a lot of the ones that I mean, the one I went into yesterday has several locations, but they're all independently owned. And these people are like dying for ways of like increasing their marketing, their reach, et cetera, right? So I said, so I'm sitting there thinking, okay, pizza's great, but I also know a lot of other things that people are really interested in, like maybe it's craft beer, maybe it's local wineries, maybe it's ice cream places, maybe it's other things. So I said, I don't want to be limited to just the pizza thing. And then let me pull this up. Let me get the next. Whoop. Hold on. Oh no. What am I doing? Get out of here. What? Uh-oh. One second. There we go. All right. Okay. Thanks for hanging tight. So I went back into GPT and I asked it, I said, okay, going back in line with what you made for me with the KC Pizza passport, what would be some other creative ideas for passport style book lists, contests for kids, families, adults, like wine or craft beer breweries, bourbon bars, etc.? Can you help me come up with some fun ideas and categories? And it said, absolutely, here you go. And it broke it down into some categories. So, family and kids passports, a KC ice cream trail, visit and rate local ice cream shops, taking notes, stickers, stamps from each shop, parks and playground passport, KC Family Adventure Passport, including all the different places you can go, like the zoo, Science City, Deanna Rose, Kaleidoscope, a library book and nook crawl, and then number 5, a disc golf passport. So hang tight on this one. This is kind of funny, right? So, and then food and drink. So there's a taco trail passport, a barbecue showdown passport, a brunch and Bloody Mary passport. And then there's adult and beverage passports, KC Wine and Vines, craft beer, bourbon bar, and then fun themed passports like a coffee crawl, donut dash, couples night out passport, and local love passport. And then it gave some additional ideas of contest ideas to pair them with. You know, return a completed book for a prize, swag raffle, a photo contest, tagging the visit using a certain hashtag, a golden stamp. One mystery location has a stamp or an instant prize. A referral bonus, bring a friend, earn a double stamp. And then kids versus adults challenge, compete in the most locations visited in the next 30 days. And then it said, would you like me to help you design books, etc.? And then, so I go to ChatGPT and I said, are you trying to get extra points with me for number 5? And if we go back to number 5, you can see it's a disc golf passport. And if you know anything about me, you know that I'm absolutely bonkers crazy about disc golf, except I haven't been able to play in a while because I got injured playing it. And so ChatGPT says, guilty as charged. I had to sneak in the disc golf passport. It practically had your name stamped on it. Imagine custom stamped discs as prizes, hole-in-one selfie challenge, and Matt's favorite fairway bonus hole. But hey, if it gets me extra points and keeps the Levchenko brand strong, keep them coming. Want me to mock that up? Or are we diving into the bourbon and brunch first? So, guys, this was an accidental stumbling of an opportunity to turn something that we were having fun with as a family personally into another way that we can add value to our own friends and family. Because here's what I'd like you to think about. What we do isn't an activity, it's a mindset, it's an identity. Like, the way that we connect isn't necessarily just in banging the phone, slamming the text, and hitting DMs. It's how do we create, like, How do we sell the life experience? How do we sell the lifestyle? How do we engage people and introduce them to things that are in their neighborhood that they would have never gotten? That's high value. So many people, like sometimes who posted, I don't know if it was somebody on this call or not, but they posted a staycation where they became a tourist in their own city. If you think about like going to a hotel and then maybe taking a tour or a guided something in your own city to find and discover the secret things around your own town that you don't even know about. These are the kind of things that like will resonate with a certain part of your database that, again, how much did this cost? This idea, this strategy. Like physically it cost, well, I pay $20 a month for ChatGPT so it can have more access to online stuff, right? The free version, I don't know if the free version will go this deep into the reviews and links and such like that. I know the $20 a month version that I use is extremely powerful with what I want it to do, right? And it helps me do a lot. I use it all day. I've just started using it all day. And I'm like, oh boy. And this is why also my wife is like, stop talking to ChatGPT. So the booklet technically isn't that difficult to put together. And if you don't know how, you just go back into ChatGPT and say, I need you to walk me through this as if it's my first time opening up Google Docs. What's my first step? Literally say that to ChatGPT and it'll go, all right, let's go. Step one, do this. And then literally go from one screen to the other. And it will, and if you encounter an error, you go back to ChatGPT and said, okay, I tried that last step and it said this. What else should I try? And ChatGPT, and here's the thing, ChatGPT doesn't get annoyed with your questions. Like you can ask it the dumbest things that you would think is dumb. And ChatGPT is like, no worries, I hear, how about this? Or how about this? How about this? It's the most, yeah, right? So how many of you on this can see putting something like this in place for something fun, right? I just know that if I want to engage with my database at least once a quarter, every 12 weeks, like over the phone, or if you're using the Friend Connect program, it's, several times a quarter. This is one of the great ways where you can launch something every quarter and have a quarterly contest and give people 30 days, 60 days to do the passports and be launching it. I don't know. Like the ideas around this are kind of endless. And I thought it was a really high value way to do a really quick take on a contest or a giveaway that's kind of fun. I want to open up what are some questions that you have? I don't know if I can answer them. Somebody on this call can, or like, what do you see here? Number one, does it like overwhelm you and go, I don't even know where to begin? Or number two, it's like, okay, I love it. I have so many ideas. I don't even know which one to start with, right? What's your take on whenever you see what I just shared with you? How many of you are like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize it was actually that easy to use ChatGPT to put something like this together? Like I don't know. I was a little intimidated with ChatGPT for quite a while. Like I just didn't go into it. I thought like I had to be like this. I had to like, if I don't ask it exactly right, it's going to just not do anything. And I just realized that, oh, ChatGPT just wants to talk to me.
This reminds me of something we did during COVID when we couldn't really get out around people a whole lot. But we wanted to try to promote businesses, especially like restaurants that could do to-go orders and stuff. And so we did this business bingo. So it was about getting to know like small businesses, and you'd go through and fill out the bingo card. And but I think it's like you could make it super overly complicated and not do anything, or you can just simplify it and just get a list of 5 or 10 or whatever you want to go with. When we did that, we also, like, when we partnered with these businesses, we would buy like a gift card from the business, or like at our Mexican restaurant, they had really good margaritas. So we'd buy like the bottle of the margarita mix, something like that, to add as a giveaway too. I think there's just so many easy ways to do this. It's so simple, yet such a genius idea.
I think sometimes we just need to be reminded what works. We get so like head down in the weeds, going this certain way. and we go, ah, man, I wish I just had an idea. Like, I wish there was something more exciting or fresh to do.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you can do like go eat at these restaurants, try them out too, and do the reviews of them. And then you've got your social content as well.
Yeah. Well, the other side of it that I love that ChatGPT said is have everyone take a selfie, post it, and then either tag you or hashtag you with the pizza passport, right? It's another way for you to now continue to blow up your own organic social reach. So if you're really solid on your own content and you're bringing out educational, inspirational marketing stuff, it's like etc. And then as you're getting tagged, your algorithm gets bumped with all of these individuals that tag you, and they and sometimes their followers will maybe get a sneak peek into some of your content. They may see something they really love, and now all of a sudden you have a new follower. And that's the organic growth, not a dollar spent on boosting or otherwise. Other thoughts, questions around this?
Yeah, no, I think it's a great idea. My only thought is, you know, I love the image that it made of the like the actual book. And so do you think obviously the digital way would be easier. But do you think there's it could be good to do like the actual physical book?
So as I'm thinking out loud, right? Like I'm thinking leading with revenue. And if I could do it in a digital way that costs nothing to get the same engagement, I would do it that way. However, as I'm speaking this out loud, if I really want to engage with kids,
Mhm.
here's what I would do. I would have a stack of this for every open house. And when families would walk in with kids, I'd hand them an ice cream trail or a parks passport and hand them to the kids. And you've got your stuff all through there. And then the thing is that as a parent, if you find a way to engage with my kids and like tell them, like get them to be quiet for a second while I'm looking at this open house, like number one, I think you're amazing. And number two, I'm going to go, oh, wow, look at this. This is actually kind of cool. As a parent, I'm also exhausted with thinking of ways to keep my kids from being bored. And if you give me this thing and for the rest of the summer, we can go, hey, let's every Wednesday, let's go find a new park. Like we did this in Lenexa had uh, a thing where you could go in and you scan a QR code and you could like enter it in. It was a parks passport. Like it was, and we have so many little parks in Lenexa, like 80 of them. And so I think something like that printed out for kids is way better because kids don't have tech, but the parents do.
Mhm.
And so if the kids like that, you can tell the parents, hey, you know, we've got a date night passport if you'd like. Do you want me to send that to you via text or an email? What's better? Now, instead of somebody giving you a fake name and email at an open house, now you got their real stuff.
Yep.
So just as you asked that question, talking out loud, that's probably the angle that I would take with it. I'd print out the kid stuff and I'd leave the other stuff digital.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah. What's up, Bobby?
Uh, I'm good. That would be good. This would be good for like a back to school. You know, everything's happening for back to school. So like an ice cream social that you can literally do in an elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
We can actually, you know, I'm going to use one of your items, Jot form,
Mm-hmm.
use a QR code for the parents to actually fill it out so they can participate. So then we can capture their information as well. Database ad.
Yep. There you go.
I like it.
Perfect.
Okay, don't steal my idea, but no, you can steal my idea.
Look, there's nothing new out there. Again, I just duplicated somebody else's. They shared it online.
Right.
It was Chris Barra over in St. Louis. I just happened to
Oh,
stumble
wow.
across his profile. I saw Chris doing a pizza review and he had this passport. And I'm like, you know what? In my mind, I was like, I can make that better. Like I
Right.
feel like I can make it more applicable for more engagement. Like it was a great post. And I look at it and go, how can I make that a little bit better for me or for my people? And so that's what I did. I just happened to go back to ChatGPT and I said, Let's make something awesome. And ChatGPT said, I got you. Let's go. Let's get in the lab. Let's cook. So don't be afraid to explore and experiment, just play. And the thing is every conversation that I have with ChatGPT gets stored in memory. And so I can a week from now go, hey, remember the pizza passport? Let's add this, this, and this. And I don't have to go back to that file. It goes, yeah, well, I remember. Here, let's add on to this. And do you want me to do this? Do you want me to do this? And it's the more you use it, the better the suggestions are at the end of your prompt. So when it says, hey, would you like me to do this, this, or this? It's basically checking to see what do I value? And then everything I ask it, it just knows the next time it's going to do something, it's going to ask me something else to bring even more value to the interaction. So get in there quickly and just start playing, messing around with it. I mean, I introduced my dad to it. He was like freaking out. Like I just turned on the voice control thing or the voice part on the app and said, just talk. And he goes, what do I say? I was like, just talk. And the chat GPT is like, hey, Jan, you can just say whatever you want. I'm here to answer questions. He goes, what even is this? And she's listening. So, all right. I know we're at time. For those, I'm going to, let me oh boy, where is it? Wrong thing. I'm going to just drop the, real quick. I'm going to drop share. Hold on.
Or Matt, you could email it to me and I can put it in the description of the video too that we can share.
Here, I got,
Group.
yeah, I will. I'm actually just going to put it in the chat right now. Here's the link to that chat GPT conversation that I had. So go ahead and click on that to open up a window in chat GPT so you can see that whole convo and just kind of scroll through it for yourself. I will also post that in the Leveraged Agent online community. If you're not part of the community, it's free. It's where we post these recordings. It's where we let you know what the passwords are for all of this. So go into Facebook, go to the Leveraged Agent online community, click to join. We'll approve you. There's no FOMO needed. You're part of this. All right. Last call for any other thoughts, questions. Good? We good? Was this valuable? Did this bring you some new ideas and some new insights?
Always
right.
good nuggets. Always
Perfect.
good.
Perfect. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, same time, same channel, and it's way better when you bring a friend. So we'll see you next time.
See you later.
Bye.